The piece is Doug Emhoff, Modern Day Sex Symbol. And I'm going to read you some of what she writes. But you know who Catherine Rampell is? That name may ring a bell because she's the one who wrote the piece ripping Kamala's economic plan to shreds on the price gouging, saying this is ridiculous. When they're accusing you of being a communist, maybe don't propose communism as your economic plan. And she got killed by her readers on the left. So a week later, she writes this drivel, trying to rehabilitate herself with the left about the current second gentleman.
Okay, there is a lot that is ridiculous about that. I mean, Megyn Kelly in general is in a ridiculous position in her career, and I draw a lot of pleasure every day just from knowing that she hates the position that she's ended up in and having to just grovel for the views of people she doesn't respect. That gives me some pleasure. But she's not in a happy mood with the fact that Doug Emhoff, according to one opinion writer for Washington Post, is a modern day sex symbol. Here's the article, by the way, that gave her so much displeasure. I think it makes some interesting points, which we will get into, and we'll have a little bit more of her, but it seems strange to be so bothered by it. And also, in expressing how bothered you are, to just demonstrate once again that commentators on the right have no idea what the political spectrum looks like. The idea that you're going to win over leftists by declaring that Doug Emhoff is a sex symbol, how exactly is that going to work?
A storm is tearing up the digital media industry. Only our audience can save us in these difficult times. Help us reach our goal of 100,000 new members at tyt.com/team.
Because they have to declare that any Democratic candidate on the national level is 10 steps to the left of Bernie Sanders, there can't be any distance. There can't be leftists who might be bothered by a declaration that communism is bad or something. And then regular normie Democrats that might be super into Doug Emhoff. Like, if you're going to be a commentator, which is not a difficult job, but it does have like the minimum requirement that you know who it is that you're talking about and the disagreements and agreements between them, it seems strange. But let's give Catherine Rampell a chance to make her case. She basically says that it isn't that he's a sex symbol because he's dead sexy or whatever, although I guess some people might believe that. It's that he's secure in his manhood, in that he doesn't feel like his career or his interests or his ambitions have to be prioritized 24/7 over Kamala Harris's. And so it says, and look, it's, you know, it's hyperbolic a bit. Move over Ryan Gosling, which shots fired, says the modern female fantasy is embodied by the man who might soon become our first gentleman. Emhoff appears to be a genuine mensch with an impressive career. He's smitten with his wife and supports her ambitions, as is obvious from this convention speech, which was a great convention speech, by the way, and their sweet interactions on the campaign trail. But most important for this sexy sobriquet, Emhoff is secure enough with his own masculinity to sometimes prioritize his wife's ambitions over his own. He's a high-achieving alpha, but isn't threatened if his wife is too. He loves his job, but he loves his wife more. He knows that supporting one's family is about more than financial support, and that temporarily setting aside his own professional ego makes him no less of a man. I want to respond to that. I'm going to read just a bit more and then respond to the whole thing. Ever since the sexual revolution and the post-industrialization of the U.S. economy, some American men have understandably experienced status anxiety. Donald Trump has exploited it. Instead of helping men appreciate how they fit into their evolving families and communities today, Trump offers sexist name-calling and weaponized nostalgia. Make America Great Again means returning to a 1950s-era economy with its attendant gender and racial roles, except not even really, because there is nothing about the MAGA movement that is going to allow families to survive on one income. So that is not fundamentally going to change. You're just always going to be really anxious about the fact that you're being screwed over by an economy that Donald Trump loves. So enjoy that, MAGA people. But what she says about him and how this is another way to be like an alpha, someone who cares about your family, you care about your partner, and you support them not by placing yourself artificially above them. What is the lie in that? What are we supposed to be bothered by? I know Megyn Kelly is assuming that every one of the pathetic half men that watch her content are going to be deeply offended by it. I'm looking for reasons to be offended. I like being performatively offended, but I don't understand what the issue is here. Why exactly would I want my wife to not succeed in her career? If my wife could have some amazing new position, why would I not want her to support? I don't understand it. I don't understand it because I haven't been fundamentally broken at a foundational level by years of listening to grifters tell me that my entire self-identity should be based on artificially elevating myself over an ever-expanding list of individuals and groups. She knows what her base is like. She knows that they have had that. And we're going to get to just a little bit more. Very briefly, here's a bit more of Megyn Kelly.
A man who, may I remind you, cheated on his first wife with the nanny whom he impregnated. They either aborted the child or he abandoned the child. Either way, no bueno. He loves his job, but he loves his wife more. He knows that supporting one's family is about more than financial support, and that temporarily setting aside his own professional ego makes him no less of a man. The media is absolutely disgusting, Victor.
Okay, I love that because she just read the same thing that I read, and she says the media is disgusting for saying that, presumably. To say that he loves his career but loves his wife more is disgusting. I don't believe that she believes a single bit of that. You'll notice she didn't describe or define why it's disgusting, why she supposedly disagrees with it. And here's the thing. If you were trying to grift to an audience that you fundamentally not just disrespect, they all disrespect their audience. Not a single one of the Ben Shapiro clones has any respect whatsoever for the people that they beat into submission in their audience. But she didn't want this audience. She wanted to move to like NBC or something. She's not a MAGA person at heart. And so her heart can't be in it. So she can't even sell why exactly men are supposed to fall apart into like a weeping pile of goo when they read these words. She just sort of has to say that it's the case. And again, look, the stuff about him having cheated on his wife is apparently true. It wasn't the nanny. It was a teacher. I don't know why she decided to say nanny. Maybe she thought it was more disrespectful. And the entire point of this show is to mock women as a woman so that men will give you money, I guess. I don't know. But again, his ex-wife appears to have a great relationship with him, which we already know. He seems like a healthy guy, a supportive guy. And this is exactly the sort of guy, as well as Tim Walz, that they do not want American men looking up to. They are a reminder every day that there is a different, healthier, better way to be. That's what bothers so many on the right. Megyn Kelly, I don't think, is losing much sleep over it, but she has to pretend that she's losing sleep so that people will keep giving her their money.
Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.